You know, yesterday I announced the brand new Planar from CCA. It talked about the fact that one, it's the most affordable Planar earphone you can buy right now. But the fact is that there are competition at the moment, and everything boils down to the way it's going to be tuned. And if it's not tuned very well, it's still going to struggle because there is something that KZ has not been able to break, and that is the being the best tuner of earphones. They are not they are not well known, or at least the track record they've shown over the years is that they are not the best when it comes to tuning earphones in general. That is the thing they lack at the moment. And I think the at least the success of the CCA PLA13 would hinge on that. Can KZ do a good job tuning the earphone in such a way that it can compete and even be a lot better than, for instance, the 7HZ Dioko, the 7HZ Timeless? Because these are the two most affordable planar recent earphones that it should be competing against. There are no other companies that have affordable planars that this model can go up against. You now have other sets like Raptigo Hook X, which is getting rave reviews because that set is slightly V-shaped, has bass. The PLA13 will only be successful if the tuning is good enough to compete with those ones. I'm not saying it should go all up against the, like say, the $220 Raptigo Hook X, but the tuning has to be good enough. Over the years, CCA and even KZ, they've tried. What they do is that they try to subsidize technology. Right? When EST came out, EST was ridiculously expensive. Whenever you wanted to release an EST earphone, you will spend well over $1,000 before you get such an earphone. And even when you look down to recently, it's still quite similar. It's very expensive to get your hands on a planar, not planar, but EST earphones for a reasonable price tag. It's still expensive. It's still something that not everybody have the finances to achieve. Now, KZ comes out with a much more affordable EST based earphone. Now, it's not proper EST, I know, but they're trying to subsidize driver tech in general, and they're not like having the best success at it yet, but they are trying. The only problem with KZ is tuning. Their tuning is still not at the level of other budget sets, because if you look at other budget sets from FiiO, Blonde, Thin HiFi, they still most of the time outperform KZ products, and that is just the downfall of KZ over the years. They still do not, even in their own segment of budget sets, they still are not beating out the big dogs on that turf. That's just the problem with them. How will the PLA13 compete with time? I can't say right now, because it's still a product that will get to a lot of people's hands and they will come to a conclusion of what is the best for them. But there is something about this PLA13 I feel might not be so successful, but maybe, just maybe, a future set, maybe a much more advanced set, maybe some set that has a little bit more better build to it might be the one people go for. It depends. Another thing again with KZ that I'm still not a fan of, and they keep on doing this, is the shell they use for their earphones. My god, they need to stop using these shells they keep using that is recycled. They've just recycled the same shell. That's what they do, and I'm not a fan of their shells. I just don't like their shells in general. That's me. That's my own complaint. I'm not just a fan of the shells they use, and they have this QDC like design for their connectors. I just don't like it. I prefer a proper 2-pin connector that won't give me any ear fatigue, because one thing with QDC like style ear hooks is that they eventually starts giving you some fatigue, and you might not be very happy with such connector or such cable connector. in general. I know I do not wear any QDC style earphones for a long time. It's not something I do at all. But I do feel the earphone can still compete, but it all boils down to the tuning. It all boils down to the tuning, because over time, KZ have become very redundant. They don't really take it too much. At least they don't put much of their focus on getting you the best tuning. So that's just my own observation and opinion about this. But regardless of that situation, regardless of the situation in general, the earphone is out. Everything you need to know about it will be in the description, like where you can purchase it, with its rivals that is within the price tag of like it will be there in the description if you want to have a look at it. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys very much next time.